Real Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
But to somebody that don't know,
Yeah,
they would look at it like, oh, they were glorifying pimping and all that, but that stuff was really
because
going on.
You know, 415, you know, you have been responsible for a lot of ass whoopings. Turn that shit off in my house. What is that bump shit?
For sure.
They take that bass out that shit. You know, I used to get in trouble for this. They like snitches and bitches, groupie ass bitch. Who is he talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy because this is crazy. We was our homegirl Yolanda. She I think it was her birthday, and she she did me a video. Her and the homegirls playing groupie ass bitch.
Okay.
You know, I'm a grandfather now.
Right.
Okay, I don't listen to that stuff now like that, man. And I forgot how graphic the lyrics were. That song.
Not just the music, the lifestyle. You know, and that's why, like, I don't. You know, as we have grown and evolved, right, being responsible adults, and even our kids. Like, if my daughter knew the way I thought or did, you know, like, let's just take something as far as how people horseplay, right? Mm-hmm. Kids play grab ass. Like, you literally could grab a girl's butt and it was a game.
It was a game. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That shit, you will be on a list for the rest of your life.
Check it in.
Do that shit right now.
Register once a year.
It's crazy. It's crazy how you can get caught up and get labeled a certain way if you did that, but the stuff that they're doing to attract that now,
right?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's crazy. All the twerking and all that.
Super double standard.
You can promote it, but don't do it. Don't ask on the promotion.
A female posting a picture from the front, her face it's rare.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's always
everything
from the side.
behind.
We don't see no Miss Dolores Tuckers running around trying to shut it down no more, do we?
No, they all come. That's crazy.
They just signed up.
Yeah,
they just signed up.
So what? How? When 415 hits the streets, you guys going, like, does a tour stop? And when you at these shows, I mean, do you guys start doing tours? And when you at these shows, are you DJing, physically DJing?
That was the plan.
Okay.
We never got to that.
Okay.
We never got to perform because Jed was nervous about performing.
Wait a minute.
We never got to go.
You mean to tell me 415 never performed?
We never. We came together and did a performance when Rich turned 50. Me, D-Loc, and Rich.
Shit is crazy.
We came together for his birthday, and I think that was the first time we was on stage in a long time. Now, I'm pretty sure Rich to perform some of his own music, but as a group, as the 415, we never got to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, never got to perform.
That is fucking crazy. And you know,
only because Jed was scared?
Well,
or other reasons as well.
That was the main reason. Because, see, you got to understand, he was the executive producer. And if we needed to rehearse, you know, he would have to get us a rehearsal spot, you know. At least that's how he was putting it out there. Like, I'm going to get y'all a rehearsal spot. And I think we had a rehearsal spot, but we never performed nothing.
You know what you know what I was explaining to some younger guys earlier. This thing that y'all going through in the Bay Area now is nothing new, right? Yeah. This is, our business has never been correct because of the D-Boy investment. The D-Boy investment.
Yes.
You have a 360 contract.
Yeah.
Because when Short was explaining that about Chris coming to the Menace to Society video shoot to tell what Short was making, Ted was under the understanding, no, I get some of everything, nigga. I put the money up. That's just a D-Boy contract. Like, you know, it's
still no, like that.
It's nothing. It's no. Yeah, because they just doing it in a roundabout way now. They just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's the same shit.
No, I mean those them hustlers from that era back then that was putting money behind artists. Yeah. They still got that. I'm supposed to get some of that. I'm supposed to be getting that.
But the thing about it is that shit was risky. They put their money up, but when people grow, they learn. You know what I'm saying?
I respected that. Yeah. You know, I respected. You know, we in the studio. We on this man's dime.
Yeah,
I respected that.
Yeah,
but now that I understand the music business, I understand it to the fullest. The music don't belong to the executive producer.
Nah, it don't. And that's not even the right thing to do. That's why you got a lot of artists re-recording their music. Ashanti just killed him.
Yeah.
Well, I think
somebody else did it.
I don't know what kind of contract she did. See, I never signed a contract with Jed.
Oh, well, you own your shit.
Yeah, I never signed nothing. I was told never to sign nothing with Jed.
You was the Ice Cube of 415. You know what I'm saying?
And I never signed, man. So the 415 it's messy in so many ways because all the songs on that album is all samples. Because you got to understand, I'm coming from being a DJ and having fun with it. I'm just taking record sampling and making, putting beats together off of samples. And back then, the artists that whoever you was sampling, they wasn't really tripping. It wasn't a big deal. Nobody
wasn't really going nowhere.
Right. Now, once one of them records take off and do 1 million sales,
they need that. Run that.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on, that's my record. So now it's a big deal about that. So 415 right now
got away with that.
No, they can't. They can't do nothing with it really.
Oh,
I can. I could do something with it because my wife then worked out a lot of the sampling situations with some of the writers.
Right.
But the issue is with the executive producer now.
Yeah.
Because he.
So Jed ain't coming up off that because it's not.
It ain't about him coming off of it. He's claiming He's claiming certain portions of it.
And the thing is losing money because it's not on DSPs as of today.
It's on nothing.
It's just losing money daily.
So y'all just bumping heads on that.
Well, like I said, I never signed nothing. So all the rights that I own still belong to me.
Okay.
Loke and Rich, I can't say the same for them. I think Jed is claiming their portion.
They got the D-Boy contract.
You know what I'm saying? He's claiming their portion, and he's greedy. I'll just keep him 100. He wants to hold on to more than what he deserves to hold
For
on
the
to.
sake of 415 history, Oakland history, the musical scene, and the future, Jed, let's make this thing right, man. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think? What do you think he's owed? What? Or not even him, just a person who puts up the D-Boy money at first.
I'll put it to you.
When is it over? Is it ever over?
I'll put it to you like this. There's a different platform now on how music is sold and bought. Okay? Back then, you had CDs or cassettes, which would be mechanical. So if he was to go press up some CDs and sell them, he gets paid. You just got to make sure the artist is paid whatever royalties are worked out with that artist, if any. But as far as publishing and writer's credit, he's not entitled to none of that. He's a record company, not unless he did whatever move he did with Rich and Loke and own their percentage, then he's entitled to whatever it sells. But other than that,
I got somebody with an offer he can't refuse. So we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him together, man. He like, hey man,
listen,
this like if you turn this down, man.
I would tell you that 415 is a bunch of mess. We didn't went through a whole bunch of mess.
Shit,
yeah, just from one song. My wife put a song, the Sideshow and Steven Spielberg situation.
And it went crazy, yeah.
It cost us some money. Let's put it that way.
So after 415, how does the dismantling go? Was you a part of the second album?
I've been in it from the gate.
So where did Brother Broski come in at?
So
just
Brother
to replace
Bro,
Rich?
Now Brother Bro was my little homie from Cypress Village.
Okay.
So I brought him around when we was doing the first album.
Okay.
And Rich took a liking to him. He liked Brother Bro, and we let Brother Bro get on one of the songs.
He was on one of them.
On Ruthless is Reality.
Yeah.
What happened? It's crazy because I don't think nobody ever told this story, but I'm gonna tell it. So
no
what happened?
Vultures exclusive.
Let us get that.
When Rich caught his case, he got caught with half a key. He went down. Right. We was in the middle at that time doing a deal with Priority Records and working on the second 415 album. Now,
Richie fumbled a couple ones.
Rich got caught up.
The fumbler.
But Jed was mad at Rich.
Okay.
He was mad at Rich because he felt like Rich was still hustling and therefore he was jeopardizing his money or whatever. So when Rich went down, it was the green light for Jed to go ahead on and say, we're going to do an album without Rich. And the way he did it was slick. He was like letting Brother Bro get on a bunch of songs.
Okay.
And like once we got into like the third song, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? What we doing? We going to do a whole album without Rich? And he's like, yeah. Brother Bro, we going to use Brother Bro, and it's going to be you, Brother Bro, and D-Lo.
Yeah.
And I never felt cool about it. Never was comfortable with that because, Rich, it was his group from the gate.
Right.
415 was his group, and he was the link to what the 415 was about. Between him and D-Lo, Rich could talk to you about the floss on the album.
Right,
D-Lo gave you the
right.
street, the gangster part of the 415.
Right.
That was the chemistry that made 415 work so well.
Dope. Super dope.
And D-Lo and Brother Bro didn't have that kind of chemistry. Brother Bro was still learning, how to beat.
He was a couple years younger than everybody.
Yeah, he was
right?
he was a youngster. Yeah, he was a youngster. But he was still learning, and he kind of got through in the mix based on something that Jed had going on with Rich.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then before we knew it, we had a whole album, and we supposed to be signed to Priority Records, and we was led to believe that Rich fit to do all this time. He didn't got caught with all this dope. He fit to get a bunch of time. So the day we shooting a video for the first single, here come Rich pulling up in his Cutlass.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I couldn't even believe it.
Right.
And that whole day was all weird for me.
Yeah.
It was. I was so emotionally distraught that whole day. One of my best friends got killed. He came to the video shoot, and I told him to come back so he can get in, and he went somewhere and got killed.
Yeah.
A longtime friend of mine, so I thought was a friend of mine, tried to extort me.
Damn.
And Rich pull up to the video shoot.
Yeah. Oh, you was going through some shit.
And I'm like, wow. So I'm hollering at Rich. I'm like, I thought you was gone. He's like, nah, I bailed out. And I'm like, this nigga dead. And we done put a whole album together. So I'm feeling some kind of way about that, And the album, I never liked the album. I didn't like the direction the album was going.
Yeah.
Jed was pushing to try to be like NWA for that album.
Right.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
It was too hardcore.
The beats he was making wasn't matching up with
it. Wasn't. I didn't. It was.
He wasn't there.
He went and got all these records. He had his ideas on what he wanted to use. He should sample this or sample that, and it was sounding a lot like NWA to me. Like we was a copycat. It wasn't the 415 though.
And there again, you have the D-Boy contract, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like CNH. He said, man, I'm gonna have you do the beats I want you to do.
Right.
Because I'm paying for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, he picked some good shit. But you know what I'm saying? But you see, when everybody's not an A&R. You have to have a CEO, an A&R, a manager. People have to be in place to have this business correct. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not you should be able to just create. Because you're the producer.
That's what happened. It got so business, and the business wasn't right. You know, he all of a sudden it went from having fun in the studio to everything is business now.
Yeah.
But the business wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
It didn't come out right.
Yeah.
So when the last straw was when we went to Priority Records, and because we needed money to go. They wanted us to go on tour with Crisscross, Jermaine Dupri and them. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have no money to even travel.
They wanted 415 to go on tour with Crisscross?
Mm-hmm. We supposed to be on tour with Crisscross, and but we had no money to even travel.
First of all, that was a great opportunity, but whoever was putting that together was an idiot. Like, why the fuck would you put these kids with these grown ass?
We all was kids at the time.
Yeah. I mean, but Crisscross was.
Yeah, they was little kids.
Fucking jumping around.
But we also they lined us up with Dub C and the Mad Circle and the Ghetto Boys.
Oh,
that sounds like a better deal.
That sounds like
But we couldn't meet none of the tour dates they had us on. Promotional tour. We were supposed to be on BT.
Because of the finances.
We didn't have no money, so we go to the label and we find out that I done gave you all the money. We ain't got no money. And now we can't even get a hold of Jed. He ain't answering no phones. So that was it for me. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going home. And what I did, Rich ended up still doing time, right? He had to go do stuff because he was out on bail, so he had to go do some time. So I went to go visit him in jail, and talking to him, telling him like, when you get home, we're gonna lock down. I'm with you. We're gonna lock down. Let's get in the studio, put a demo together, and we shop you around till we land on something.
He never felt no kind of way about you like he felt about Brother Broski, right?
Well, he was mad at all of us, I believe. I would have been. He was mad, but I want him to understand I'm still rocking with you. I don't know, D-Loc, he was done with rap, and Brother Bro was rocking with where I was rocking with. So I just want him to know I'm rocking with you. So when you come home, we gonna lock in. And we was at this little studio over here. Is that Park?
Out here in the east?
No, right before, right outside by Lake Merritt. What was that Park?
The Grill.
The Grill. But see, back then it wasn't the Grill that
it
people
was at
know.
Lev House.
Yes, is at his not even his house. It was at his mother's garage.
His mother's garage with the sliding glass door.
Yeah, so we locked in there for about a year and a half, just recording songs back to back. And when we felt like we had something strong, we hit LA. We hitting every label in LA.
So this is like a demo.
This was a demo.
What does any songs on this demo make it?
Half Thing became we took half the songs and made Half Thing, and the other half became Seasoned Veteran.
And by this time, you still was sampling.
Well, no, I had a groove. I was sampling. So I'm playing the keys now.
So that Prince sample, that's not you?
That's me.
I was like,
Prince
don't play that shit,
right? But I still had that independent. Nobody's tripping.
Yeah, nobody's tripping.
I'm gonna put the sample in the mix with other instruments.
By the way, that is a dope ass album.
It was.
I must say that is a dope ass album, bro.
Yeah,
like I always like Half Thing, but I got a question. Again, I don't know. It's just me, right? The rap nerd. That was on D-Shot record label.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because see, I never made no money off of none of that music with Rich. I never made a dime off none.
Because I was very curious. Like, I was always territorial with our rappers, and I'm thinking like, shit. I no disrespect to D-Shot, but I'm like,
know what you're saying.
That's Richie Rich.
Yeah,
like,
when it came,
should be on Richie Rich records then. Like,
when it came out, I was just as shocked as you. I'm like, D-Shot, how D-Shot get?
Yeah, I'm assuming knowing Rich was a hustler that it was a play.
It was something that he worked out with Shot, and shout out to D-Shot.
Oh, so you had no idea that
I didn't know. I just like I said, my plan with Rich was to lock in a deal with him, put a demo together so he can get a record deal. He landed the deal, obviously, with Def Jam.
Right.
But I think part of the plan was to see what he can do since he hadn't had nothing out. They wanted to see what he can do independently, so they put this Half Thing album out, and it did some great numbers.
So when Rich gets with Tina Davis, are you around?
I'm around. I met Tina. We met Tina together. Yeah, we was in LA together.
So what successful acts had Tina put out at Def Jam?
She hadn't got to Def Jam yet. I think part of her getting over there was taking Rich.
Hey, I got this guy.
Yeah.
People always said that, and I didn't know that because shout out to Tina Davis. She's done legendary things. She's had Chris Brown, and I think she was involved with a couple of. I can't remember offhand the guys, but I always ask people from here who was their favorite executive, and the reason I ask people that because some people say Shakir, right? Because of course he did Ross and Jeezy.
Yeah.
Not to take nothing away from Shakir, but I always say, well, my favorite executive from here would have to be somebody from here that got somebody from here on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Shakir, I don't know, but he didn't. Nobody. I'm like, goddamn. And I'll be thinking at times like, do we not make global music or because we got isms.
You know what it is? It's the business.
It's the business.
It's the business. See, I can say it now because I'm outside looking in on Bay Area business. See, we do our own thing out here in the Bay. We don't follow the guidelines to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll take a situation and then try to hustle it. You know what I'm saying? We get a good deal on the table, then go behind and be like, we'll try to figure out how we can make it a better deal.
Right.
And that's what you gotta think about.
Always a back door.
When Rich got his deal, right around the time everybody was getting record deals. Everybody from the Bay, you know, the Loonies,
right?
3 times, Seidel,
everybody was getting record deals.
Yeah,
it was popping.
But out of everybody that got record deals, Short and 40 was the only ones that was able to follow through with their contracts. Everybody else somehow got kicked off or got lazy, whatever the case was. They just didn't stick to the plan, and that stigma stuck with the industry.
Stay on blue. I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes. Yeah, rest in peace to Lil